guys, look out. Here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud. He's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread? Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of a crime, like a streak of light, he arrives just in time. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Welcome fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward to him. Life is a great big hang-up. Wherever there's a hang-up, you'll find the Spider-Man.
Good evening, my friends. Welcome to the show. I am Lou Mongello. You are my friend. If you are watching live, thank you so very much for joining me again. If you're watching on the replay, don't forget to join us every Wednesday right here, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Also, be sure and turn on notifications. I'm going to be going live a lot next week. We'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. It feels like for the first time in forever that I've seen you guys. I was away on the cruise last week. The internet was awful, but the cruise was just the opposite. It was absolutely another amazing time. Thanks to all of you who joined us on board, who joined us virtually via the sharing of the photos or the 360 videos, or when I was able to go live just for a couple minutes. I love seeing familiar names in the box. I love seeing new names in the box. If this is your first time watching, you are in the box. You are one of the box people. Sebastian and Stan, Marty Ramondo, good to see you. We're going to make plans to get together soon. We're also going to work on you for Alaska as well. Matt Martin from the UK, my friend, I'm going to get your package out here right away. Tom Franklin, David, Sarah, Pamela, so good seeing you guys again. I should have actually aimed the camera up a little bit higher. I'm feeling quite fluffy after the cruise last week. Body by Baymax is what I've got, thanks to Cabanas and King Candy and Paulo twice and everything else in between. So good time was had by all. We'll talk a little bit about the cruise. We'll talk about the next cruise that's coming up, and much to Princess Becky Mankin's dismay, I'm going to leak what the next event is that we're going to be doing. So get ready. She's going to be panicked. Keith, what's going on, man? It's good to see you as well. I know I owe you an email. Walter, only twice. It was a short-ish cruise. It was only 5 days. Only 5 days. I don't mean it that way. I'm very grateful that it was 5 days, but 7 days is sort of that perfect, it's that perfect number, because 5 days, you just start getting comfortable and you get into the swing of things and you're putting on your bigger stretchy pants that you brought with you, and then bang, it's over. If you've never cruised before, dip your toe in the water with a 2 or 3 day, work your way up, but then you'll see it's hard not to do 5 again. Isabel Bernardino, nice to see you as well. Jeff Kuderna, I did not get on the aqueduct. I did not get into the spa as I wanted to. I did not get to sit down and read for an hour. Like I say every single time I bring a book with me, I say I'm going to sit down and read for an hour, and it never gets a chance to happen. That is okay. Linda Lammers, always good seeing you. Love some of the photos that you were sharing. I think I just saw Joseph Jones in here. In case you hadn't have noticed, by virtue of the opening theme song, by the opening cover, by my shirt, by all the stuff, we're still talking about the cruise, but I am literally counting down. If I had a watch on, I'd be counting down the hours to SpiderMan Homecoming. This 7-year-old boy trapped in a not so 7-year-old boy, clearly body, has been waiting for this movie since he was a little kid, and I cannot wait for Friday night, possibly late Thursday if I decide to sneak out and and somehow stay up late. So this is what I have been waiting for. Joseph Vito Bacino Jr., good to see you as well. Let's see. I think Ricky DJ Technoid Reed is in there as well. So yeah, lots of stuff to cover. We've got the cruise recap. We've got Spider-Man. We've got D23 Expo coming up next week. No, I'm not nearly prepared for it, But Mixteam O'Keefe, yeah, man, that was a 67 Spider-Man theme song. That is what I grew up with. That is what I grew up watching. I still, every now and then, will find one on YouTube and just take a trip down memory lane, as it were. So I have got my Spider-Man underoos ready. I got my Spider-Man hoodie ready. I got my web shooters ready. And Friday night, it's going to be all Spider-Man all the time. This is the one after one mediocre movie, two mediocre movies and 3 really bad movies. I think this is what we have finally been waiting for. So, Judy, good to see you. Jim, always good to you. Am I going to be rocking the Spider-Man spandex for the movie? Keith, clearly you have not seen my post-cruise body. It really, I've grown as a person, literally and figuratively, since that cruise. And there's spandex is not meant for this. That's why I'm wearing dark colors. That's why I always shoot from the chest up. So. Mixed Team used to watch on Sunday mornings back in the day. Yeah, man, Spider-Man was my jam. Like you can see, my wall is all Spidey. So this is what I have been waiting for. Anthony Flacco, I'm always wacko for Flacco. It was so good. You joined us again. This is what, your fourth cruise? Always have a good time. Always great to see you as well. Father Christopher, dark colors. Yes, it's very much deliberate. So, Josh Jordan, a theater close to Disneyland, the AMC and Disney, downtown Disney there is awesome. I've been to the movies there actually I went to see Guardians 2 when I was out speaking there a couple of months ago. Really, really nice in downtown Disney, like steps away from the Disneyland Hotel. So, you say, well, I'm in Disneyland, I don't want to go to the movies, but it's something to do, neat, fun late night. Well, I actually go, no, I'm not going to see Spider-Man while I'm in Disneyland. Who am I kidding? I'm going to see it many times between now and Expo, though. Luis Ramos, good to see you as well. Always good to see you in the box and on Messenger. So, yeah, we've got a little bit to talk about the cruise. We'll probably do a little bit of a recap at some point on the show. But it was such a good group. I'm amazed. Maybe I'm amazed at the way you love me all the time. Maybe I'm amazed at how good of a group of people we always seem to get. The first time it happened, I thought we caught lightning in the bottle. But every cruise, it's such a nice group of people, and everybody gets along. And whether you came alone or came with friends or you made friends along the way, the dynamic, I sort of sit back. I don't relax too much, but I do observe the dynamic in between those people in our group who maybe meet each other at a table at dinner, or they meet each other at the gift exchange, which was a blast, by the way. Oh, my Tumblr's downstairs because I had to, of course, go with Spider-Man tonight. It's all Spider-Man all the time. Don't ask about the underoos. But it was so cool to see so many friendships form, and friendships that had formed on previous cruises be rekindled again. People cruised again together. They wanted to eat together. They sometimes drank together, but we took over the kids club, and we were in our pajamas, and we danced on the play floor. Thanks to some amazing cast members who opened it up for us at midnight. We played in the Millennium Falcon, and just every day there was something different. There was something fun, and this could not have happened without all of you guys that were there. I so very much appreciate you. Of course, as always, thanks again to MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, without whom these cruises couldn't happen, for all your vacation planning needs. You know the deal, but don't tell Becky that I said thank you. It was actually a wonderful time, and she and Sue was there, and a couple of other agents were on board, and everybody really, really just had a good time, and that is why I love cruising so much. But that was then. This is now, because listen, what's that line from The Lion King? Got to put your behind in the past, something like that. That cruise was then. This one is now, because I am already in Alaska mode. We've already started talking about Alaska for 2018, right about the same time. It's a really good time to go to Alaska. You can ask my kids, you can ask me, you can ask other people who were on a couple years ago. This is a lot of people's favorite itinerary, including mine, in terms of favorite destinations. We go at a time of year where the price is still not too crazy, but it's late enough the kids can come out of school, but it's still not too hot yet, so it feels like Alaska. Temperatures in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. that is, if you have a chance to come, and look, I have no skin in the game other than wanting to share the experience, but if you are even thinking about it, there is no place else on this planet like Alaska, and we'll talk more about that, some of the excursions, some of the adventures that we're going to do once we get out there. Jason Lazada, what is good to see you. I saw Anthony was just sharing a tip. Sorry, it went by. Faye can't wait for Alaska. Who? Gentleman Jager. Oh, gentlemen, I can't wait for you to be in Alaska. If you are coming to Alaska, show me in the comments here. Let me see some hearts or whatnot go by. Got UK. Martin, I know. I hinted to you in an email about something else that I'm planning that I hadn't talked to Becky about as well. But for those of you who are coming to Alaska, we are going to have a good time. If you've been thinking about it, let me know if there's any questions I can answer for you. We've got some shows that we've done in the past about it. So they should make an American Ninja style Spidey Challenge Run Disney course. I like every part of that except the Run Disney parts. If there was a Spidey Dorito Nacho Tacho Sushi Challenge, then I'm in. Then I am in. So I wish I could do Alaska. Double dip was a blast. Amy Peterson, so good to see you there again. I can't make it, but you'll meet the Flacco parents. Oh, we're going to have a lot to talk about, me and the Flacco parents. Candace Nelson wants to know, when is your next New York or New Jersey meet? Candace, we've been talking about some future events. Speaking of future cruises, that's one of the options that we've been looking at in terms of. So let me ask you, let's do a little mini box focus group. As long as you're here and I have somewhat of your attention. We were thinking about some other destinations for future cruises. We have done the Caribbean a number of times. Castaway Cay is amazing. We have gone to Alaska. This will be the second time. There's a lot of interest in European cruises, but let me ask you this. Either A, where would you like to go as a group on a Disney cruise? And or B, would there be any interest in a Disney cruise from New York to the Bahamas? They actually do a 6-night or a 5-night with an overnight stay in the Bahamas. So the ship docks at the Bahamas. You can get on and off the ship at your leisure and stay there for 2 days. Scott, the boat doesn't go to Topeka, Kansas, unfortunately. Stan wants to go to Norway, Mediterranean. Liz Meeks can't wait. I can't wait for the Meeks in Alaska. We are going to have a good time with the Meeksies. The Meeks apostrophe. Mike Wolf, what's going on? Keith Groshen says yes to New York. Melanie Jones, definitely New York. Mike Wolf, what's going on? That would be awesome. Votes yes. Nikki Keller says, oh, sounds intriguing. Yeah, there's obviously we understand that there's a lot of people that live up in the Northeast. Bermuda is a beautiful port and a beautiful destination. Jonas Carter says he's in. Kimberly Hart says Hawaii. Listen, now I'm with you. Courtney says New York. Steve Williams went to Quebec City from New York. I would go just for the poutine, Stephen. But I do hear that the New York to Canada cruises are beautiful. It's really, really nice. So, Fred Abley, there are cruises to Ireland, but you need to get yourself to Europe first, and then there's cruises that depart from different ports. There's a lot of different European cruises that we've been looking into it in something in the future. Marty Raimondo says yes. Jim's like, no, man, I'm moving from New York next year. Lori just booked my flight from Shanghai to Aulani. See you, Lori Oliveri. You and Angelo, you guys know how to do it right. You're on that side of the planet. You might as well stop over. I mean, as long as you're there. Steve Webb, what's happening, brother? So yeah, we're definitely thinking about some future cruise destinations and some options in terms of where we might go and things that we might do in the future. Panama Canal, says Stuart Sternberg. David and I did the one to Nova Scotia, says Mr. Stephen Williams. Go Giants. I have survived. Now let's go what she does here. You say I'm mean? I have survived 10 cruises with Lou. I can survive the Bermuda Triangle. I'm going to be the bigger man. I'm not always the bigger man, but tonight I'm going to be the bigger man. Sailing to Belfast, I'll do the pub tour guide, says Jill McCann. I think that would intrigue a lot of people, a pub tour. Any hint that they'll eventually have overnight stay accommodations at Castaway Cay? No, but I will tell you, Michael, I believe in my heart of hearts that an overnight at Castaway is coming. I just think that it's coming for a variety of reasons, and I will let that lay right there. So, Kenneth Johnson, hey, everybody, sorry I'm late. You're on Florida time, brother. That's why, and that's okay. Congratulations on your recent move. After the cruise, I'm sure you are the bigger man. Father Christopher, I am huge. It's not even funny. But when we come back from China, considering Becky is going to have nothing but concierge fried rice or white rice, I'll still be the bigger man. Tommy Stiver, September meetup set yet? Not yet, Tommy. It's probably going to, I'm going to tell you, it's going to have to be early in the month because we are going to Shanghai in the middle of the month. So I'm going to try and squeeze something in if I can before we go. So we'll try and make it, early in the month if I can do that. So, who's going to be your designated survivor in case the Bermuda Triangle or Trapezoid does something? Ray Kastner, I don't know who would actually want all of this stuff, but although I have heard people say that I should just leave it to my kids if they can figure out all the uploading tech stuff. Let's see. Let me catch up here. Bill Daniel, good to see you. Sue Passauer, nice to see you in the box. It was great seeing you on board. Thank you for all of your help with your clients and with all of the other guests that were on board. So any details for meetups or activities at D23 Expo? So Kenneth Johnson, D23 Expo starts, yikes, I'm so not ready. I mean, I'm ready. We've got plenty of time. It's next week. Mouse Fan Travel and I are once again joining forces, and we are going to have a booth on the floor in the Collectors Forum. Of course, I also understand that not everybody could make it there in person, so if you can't, I am going to be broadcasting live for the entire 3 days. Not necessarily continually, but I will be broadcasting live, so that's why it's really, really super important that if you haven't already, make sure that you turn on notifications on Facebook. If you don't know how, you can do it on mobile. You can do it on desktop. This way you'll get notified. You'll get a push notification on your mobile device or even your desktop if and when we go live throughout Expo. It's a very dynamic schedule. Things happen in very dynamic, sometimes unsuspecting ways. We're going to have guests at the booth. We're going to be going to panels. We'll be taking you around the show floor. Got a couple of surprises planned as well. So please, please, please make sure you tune in, like the Facebook page, which you obviously I think already do, and turn on notifications. And if you are going to be there in person, please come by the booth and say hi. We'll have some surprises. I'll have some giveaways. We've got some other fun stuff kind of planned, and who knows, maybe you could even be part of the show. It is not, Ray, going to be a 72-hour show. I promise you that. Sean Embry, in terms of a nation meetup, I've been trying to figure out where I can squeeze one in, both timing-wise and logistically-wise, because we've got set up the first couple of days, then we got teardown, and then we have the Disneyland Quest, which is now closed and sold out for Monday. All the goodies have been ordered. The Quest is done. I need to pick it up tomorrow from the printer, and then I've got a couple of days after I'm going to be there with my family. So maybe I'll do some sort of unofficial, very casual kind of meetup for a corn dog or a Bengal barbecue or all of the above. But definitely come by the booth and say hi, and I will keep in touch whether you're a part of the nation or not. Martin says, was it 2013 that I watched every day and every hour you broadcasted? You interviewed Don Hahn. So, Martin, I think I interviewed him in 2013 and 2015. So it could have been either or both, actually. So, yeah, we've got some fun stuff planned. Becky says we might give away some stuff to people in the box. No, that's actually not true. That's actually not true. We are definitely going to give away stuff to people who watch in the box. So you don't know when that's going to happen, so make sure that you stay tuned. Matthew wants a moment of silence for DisneyQuest. Moment given. Listen, I think DisneyQuest had its place in the grand circle of life. I would have loved to have seen it. As a kid who grew up in arcades, I would love to have seen that continue to be updated. It's a very hard thing to keep updated and to keep current, because the tech on your mobile phone was greater than a lot of the tech that was in there. So it's a very expensive proposition. It's like Adventurers Club. It's like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. It's like a lot of these things that's like I call it the ex-girlfriend philosophy. Like, you don't miss her until she's gone. Like, nobody went to DisneyQuest until they announced it was closing. And then the other day, there were lines of Florida residents trying to get into DisneyQuest. It's been there all along, and nobody went, and that's why it's closing. I don't know. I know NBA Experience is supposed to go in. That's going to be interesting. It is going to be interesting. So, Mark Thompson would like to see a Disney World museum in its place. I would like to see that beyond, even more so than an NBA Experience. It just doesn't fit into my personal wheelhouse. But I am one of millions of people that go. So it'll be interesting to see. Nick Papagiorgio, did I go to Belmar? Oh my God, Belmar Playland. Holy blast from the past. I have many Belmar stories, both as a young teenager and then as a not so young adult. They are not meant for this podcast. Stan Solo says, I have zero interest in the NBA Experience. Go Toronto Raptors? Toronto Argonauts? What are they called? The Toronto Basketballers. Whatever they're called. But he has no experience. No, you have no experience nor no interest in the NBA. Oh my God, Michael Ross just said Bar A. Holy macaroni. Now, to quote a wise elder statement, Bar A, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. A long time. Whew. That just brought me back. Yikes. Michelle lives 10 minutes from Belmar. God help you. God bless you, because I can imagine what it's like still there in the summer. So, let's see. Jess says, if you stayed on grounds a few years, they even gave you tickets for the Quest. Almost folks didn't go. So, Jess, they tried for a long time. Awareness of DisneyQuest was an issue. Partially because of where it was. Look, I say this all the time. For a long time, Pleasure Island, downtown Disney, it didn't really know what it wanted to be and who it was meant to serve. So people weren't necessarily going there and didn't even know what DisneyQuest was, other than that it was an additional ticket. So people going, wait a minute, I've just paid all these, this money for park hoppers. What is this DisneyQuest? It's an arcade. My kids can do that at home. So it had a tough time finding its identity. And then when they did bring in some new stuff, they weren't able to keep it updated. And honestly, to be honest, I had been there a couple of years ago. They weren't able to maintain the standards, I think, because they knew the rumors of DisneyQuest closing have been around for years. Now, finally, it was going to happen. But it had its place, and its place is now gone. So... But I will tell you, though, that it was the stuff of trivia questions in terms of where you could find Bill Nye the Science Guy. Some of the tech that they did have there, they had computers there that literally ran for decades, just never turned off, never went down. They just ran for decades. You have to remember things like Cyberspace Mountain. I saw pictures of the tower racks that ran those, so... It'd be cool if the games are dispersed among the hotels. Rita, that's one of the things that they've actually gotten, they're trying to get away from to a certain degree is some of the arcades in the hotels have actually gotten smaller as opposed to larger. But I'm an old arcade nerd. For anybody who lived in the Central Jersey area, if you remember Spaceport at Woodbridge Center Mall in Woodbridge, New Jersey, I spent way too many long, admittedly lonely hours there, but I had the world record in Zaxxon for a short period of time. I had a magazine. I had the world record in Zaxxon because I didn't date and had a lot of quarters. Speaking of bad memories for the past, but what will they do with all the games? So Pete, I don't know. There was really only one section that had sort of the retro arcade games. A lot of the other things were sort of proprietary games. There weren't even a lot. I mean, there was maybe 25, 30 of them. So, Michael Wolf says, when can we look forward to Walt Disney World Trivia Book Volume 3? I can answer that question. I can answer that. I think I can answer. Should I answer this question the right way? I will answer it this way. I have another trivia. I guess should I? I have another trivia. No, wait, I can't. There will be another trivia book coming relatively soon. How's that? Can I leave it at that? Once I get some of these other things off my plate. There's a project that I've had up on that wall that still sits there. It's something I've been working on literally for years, but I get sidetracked with bright, shiny objects. So Marissa has her husband has the arcade cabinet with all the, I so want one of those. I had video games in my dad was very good to us. We had a couple of video games. We had Centipede, we had Arkanoid, and we had the Superman pinball machine and a jukebox and something else. So I have I have a really heartfelt attachment to old video games. Again, going back to how I didn't date very much and spent a lot of time all by myself in my basement. But those days are behind me now, because now I really don't date very much, and I spend a lot of time by myself in my office. But that's besides the point. Heather trying to drive safely and listen. Listen, Heather, don't watch. Somebody get me a legal document. I am not responsible for any injuries that result of your paying attention to this. There'll be a meet of the month for July. So Julie Meyer Dossie, I would love to call Expo the meet of the month, but that would probably be a cop-out. So if I did, it would be very, very late in the month. It's going to be tough because it can't be the weekend of the 22nd. If it's the weekend of the 30th, I can try my best to do it. But maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll do something a little bit different. I just had an idea because there's something else that's coming up right around the first of the month. So we'll see. We'll see. John and Kristen Earl, when am I getting to Anaheim? Leaving there Thursday before D23. Yeah, I'm not going to. I'm getting in later on in the week, and then we've got set up as soon as I get in. So I'm not going to be anywhere before I actually get onto the floor of Expo. So let's see. Best hour. How are you? It is so good to see you again. We have to get together, by the way, and have coffee or lunch or a nosh or all of the above. So even when you're in the car, helmuts, H-E-L-M-U-T-S, helmet, and elbow knee pads are recommended, especially when going to or from McDonald's. That's the second mean thing she said to me. I'm banking them all. I have a recorder, stenographer writing all those things down. WDW Radio Nation barbecue meat at Lou's Patio. I like every part of that except the Lou's Patio part, because the cleanup's going to be a mess. But we'll see. We'll see. The DisneyQuest games will move to the Tron Arcade. Mark Thompson, don't play with me, man. A Tron Arcade I've been waiting for my whole life. So, Mixed Team, I had a 2600. I had the Intellivision and the blisters on my fingers to prove it. And ColecoVision. I loved ColecoVision. Eric Bankert is taking his first cruise on the Dream next month. You are going to love it. You are going to love it. Jess says, I had sushi for dinner. Yum. Bet it wasn't as good as your place. Jess, I don't know. You might have really good sushi. I have a dinner meeting on Secret Sushi Place on Sunday. I'm just so excited. Joe Hour. Listen, I've got not one, but two of the Hour clans. If we get a kid and the dog, it'll be like the Hour family is going to be in there. The family that, what is it? The family that watches together. It's clearly bored. Whatever. I'm happy to see you guys. And it's good to see you guys. And if you are, but I'm going to shamelessly plug Best. I don't care. And if you are interested at all in if you have a blog, if you have a podcast, if you are a content creator, you should check out. I'm going to call it Florida BlogCon, but it's not. It's still Florida BlogCon. flblogcon.com, whatever. You can put the link in right there if you want. I have been attending and speaking there for years, and I love the event that you put on and the people that you bring to the event. I don't mean the speakers. I mean the people that you attract to the event are just really, really good people. Made some great friends there. Fred Abley says, what is this video game thing that you speak of? So Fred, even though you program video games, there's actually other people that can do it for you. And retro, listen, I don't want to start going down the retro. I got to get out of the garage. I still have my Atari 2600 in the garage with all of my original games. So once I figure out how to actually connect it to a 4K TV, I would love to just, I'll weep going down memory lane because, again, a lot of lonely hours in the basement. I also had Vectrex. Remember Vectrex? Again, a lot of whatever. Wait, these files are in the computer, says Corey Bassett. Corey, looking forward to see you. Lucy Stewart, you know I love you. Can't wait to see you soon as well. Jenilyn Jager has her Atari. As if I didn't love Jenilyn enough, the fact that she still has her Atari 2600, she just went way up on the whatever scale I have. Let's see. Woody Poe says, my 13-year-old son, I listened to about 8 hours of your podcast on our 12-hour drive home from Walt Disney World today. So Woody, thank you to your 13-year-old son. Man, I am sorry. Because that's a lot of Lou in a short amount of time. Like, you probably went stir crazy, but thank you so much for listening. Michael Ross pulling out Dig Dug. Aaron King, Pitfall on Coleco. All right, if you listen, I don't care how old you are, whether you're 13, 33, or older, what was your favorite video game? What was your favorite video game did you play at home on the Atari, on your ColecoVision, Intellivision, Vectrex, your little handheld game, whatever it was? So, Pitfall on the 2600. Ray Kastner says 12 hours. Was that 3 shows? Why is Ray being so mean to me? Ricky D-Nage, Wiki Technoid Reed, Dave Filipkowski, I will take you downtown on Galaga because I had one at home, and go back to the not dating part. That's all I did was play Galaga all the time. Candace Nelson, Qbert, Pong, Frogger, Missile Command, and Breakout on the 2600. Did you get the little things in your hand from rolling the ball for Missile Command too much? Frogger, Paperboy. Oh my God, I forgot about Tecmo Bowl. Another Qbert, Dragon Warrior on the NES. Vanessa Prince, we're dating ourselves with Pong. Super Mario 3. See, that was different. Ken Phelps. I was waiting for somebody to bring out Defender. Again, blisters on your fingers from making your ship go back and forth on the screen so many times. I never played Zelda. I was that was in between Circus, Atari, and Kaboom. Oh my God, I forgot about Kaboom. Dragon's Lair. Scott Otis. Holy smokes, man. Don Bluth's Dragon's Lair was an incredibly innovative game for its time. I still think it is. Star Wars, Mickey Mousecapade, Pitfall on Intellivision. God, what game has Pitfall? It's an Easter egg. You can play the old Pitfall on a modern video game, and I can't remember what it is. Space Invaders. Michael Wolff. Not only do I remember, so Andrew Palmer and Michael Wolff, I remember, this is going to be a long, circuitous story, but bear with me. So my entrepreneurial spirit comes from my parents. My dad was an attorney. My mother had many different careers, including, running my uncle's, neurology practice. But we did a flea market on the side on the weekends. So for Jerseyans, if you remember the old Route 1 flea market in, I guess it was Edison, Woodbridge, New Jersey, we had a big booth in the Route 1 flea market. We had an antique business and whatever, the side story. But that was where I saw Space Invaders for the very first time, in this little room all the way in the back by the pickle guy. It's stupid the things you remember. By the pickle guy, and I remember seeing Space Invaders for the first time, and I can hear that sound, which I won't try and repeat. But I remember how in awe I was and the hours that I spent playing Space Invaders. So much so that I can almost say that experience, being in the flea market, not only impacted me business-wise as an entrepreneur, but that's where my love of video games came in. So I'm actually deep down, I love video games. I just don't have a lot of time to play them. Night Stalker. Oh my God. Astro Smash. Bill Berardino and the rest of the Berardino clan. Lakota Matson says, "Hey Lou in the Box fam, just my 5 Wednesday night off and I show up late to the stream. That's okay, because all we're talking about is video games. I haven't announced the next WDW Radio special event, which Becky doesn't want me to, but I'm going to announce anyway because I don't really care." Judy says, "We played outside. We didn't have video games." Yes, I'm old. I'm old too. I'm probably older than you are, and I actually went outside too. I played baseball. I rode my BMX bike. I mean, I stunk at both of them, but I did it anyway. Spy Hunter. Terry, who said that? Terry said Robotron, when you had the 2 handles, Robotron 2084. Yikes. Jousts. Spy Hunter. Oh my God. Remember Spy Hunter with the little card, like the overhead, you could shoot whatever. Ray Castro. Do you have asteroids? No, but my dad does. That's from Vacation, kids, in case you don't remember. Do I remember the Route 1 flea market? The guy that sold peanuts, Louis Ramos. That's what we were in, the Route 1 flea market. We actually had one in the Route 18 flea market too, but that wasn't as good. Too funny. Judy says, "I have a decade on you, ready to retire." I doubt it. I'm older than you think, and retirement is a word that's not in my dictionary. Ricky DJ Technoid Reed, Discs of Tron. How about the Tron stand-up arcade video game? How about Journey? And remember the arcade game Journey, where you actually played as the band Journey? One Love Feeds the Fire. Who's Crying Now? Yar's Revenge. Ken Phelps. I love Tempest, except the later levels got so stupid hard. Kristen Blake. I am not going to retire. I'm going to die at this desk. I mean, hopefully not at this desk. Hopefully I'll be somewhere else. But I have no plans on retiring. So Becky is being falsely complimentary because you have something special at the booth to commemorate the positive and cheerful thoughts of Orwell Journal. Becky, I want you to just remember something, and I want you to think about this. Look in my eyes and hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. Revenge is a dish best served cold. If you've ever seen, there's a movie which is sort of required reading for those of us whose name ends in a vowel. It's called The Godfather. Never bring a knife to a gunfight. So if you're going to bring it, you better bring it, but be prepared for the repercussions. So that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Just there you go. E.T. on Atari, says Mark Thompson. An impossible game. Louise Rim is the lady who's buried in the back of the flea market. She wouldn't sell. Well, they eventually moved her because they put the movie theater there. But there was a woman who was buried there, and they had a little area off by the parking lot where her little plus self was. Let's see. Yes, there's a great documentary on Nick Papageorge. There's a great documentary on the E.T. video game and the landfill. I think it's still on Netflix. Where'd I get the Peter Parker 2-pack? So I don't know if he's here. I don't want to say his name if he's not, but somebody who's been incredibly generously. I never had a Funko Pop before, and now I've got 20 some odd. There's a bunch up there, and there's a bunch in here, and there's a bunch over there, and a bunch up there, and I just got my SpiderMan Homecoming ones, squee, and that I am super, super excited about. So, and if you are in here, we're going to do lunch and dinner anywhere you want, brother. Like, you want Boathouse? Well, I'll make Boathouse happen. So, let's see. No, she's still there. So I had heard when they built the movie theater, again, this is my memories. Again, I'm an old man. I can't say anything nice because I get revenge speeches. So I guess I need to step up the challenge. You said you were going to do something because I know you don't like this puppet. So just be prepared. Just be prepared. Mixie Mokeef, I am literally, as much as I'm counting down the days to SpiderMan Homecoming, man, I can't wait for football season to start. I cannot wait for football season to start. So, Ben, we actually talked about the old Contemporary, the Fiesta Fun Center, how many. Somebody put the link in there. We did top 10 things we love about the Contemporary Resort, and I went down memory lane and talked about it because I don't think Tim Presser is the puppet coming to D23. You know, Father Christopher, let me ask you this. Would you like the puppet to come to D23? Listen, she obviously hadn't made it into any of the packages that I sent there, so we'll see. Why does the Becky Puppet look like she's packed and ready to go to some convention in a week? Let me just do this. Just in case. Let me just put her on my desk so I don't forget her in the last package that's getting shipped out tomorrow. So, Terry Simpson Doherty, who is that spider character? Really? You obviously were not here at the beginning as I was gushing over my love of Spider-Man. I think that there's probably nobody other than me and Tom Holland who is more excited for this film to come out on Friday. I don't know that I've been looking forward to a movie more than I've been looking forward to this. Spider-Man is let me see. Actually, wait a minute. No, I won't. I won't embarrass myself. But there's something that I have up on the shelf in the back that you really can't see, fortunately, that I had since I was probably, 4 or 5 years old, from when I used to pretend that I was Spider-Man in my parents' house. So my mother found it and she brought it down here. And so, to say that I've been waiting for this movie for 40 plus years is not an understatement. So, Becky ain't afraid of no stinking puppet. Terry Simpson Doherty, I have a feeling you had a hand, literally and figuratively, in what's going on. We'll see. Can Becky and the puppet meet? If they touch each other, then would the universe implode in itself. Ray Kastner, not happening. That grease tape is locked away in there. It's in a hermetically sealed vault. I'm going to be buried with the grease tape. So, why is this more exciting than Tobey Maguire? So, Mixie, I'm not going to go. Andrew Garfield was not a good Spider-Man, in my opinion. He was too cocky. He was too arrogant. That's not who Peter Parker was. Tobey Maguire was in the first movie, and then the whole disco dancing down the sidewalk scene. Ay, Dios mío, they kill. But Tom Holland, he's vulnerable. He's quirky. He's odd. He's a lot of the things that Peter Parker and Lou Mongello were when we were in high school. So I get it. I really assume grease tape still not happening. When you love a Spider-Man, you're not wearing your pajamas. I missed with the rest of what you said. I may or may not have Spider-Man underoos on. And I can tell you this because you are my friends and I know you'll judge me, but I don't care. As a fully grown, somewhat mature adult, I have Spider-Man pajamas. And you can determine what you interpret Spider-Man pajamas to actually mean. But yes, I do. And it's not my kids' underoos like from when I was a kid. They don't fit much anymore. Let's see. I thought the first two McGuire movies were fine. The first one was great. And then when you start to kill the franchise, I mean, look, there was supposed to be a fourth, and the third one was so bad they pulled the plug on it. So, yikes. Marissa Brzezinski, underoos, the underwear that's fun to wear. They're back, Underoos are back, and I'm not necessarily saying it from personal experience, but I still have to wear the Alaska PJs. Becky, I've got the Alaska PJs, but they are it's a flannel onesie, footy pajamas, and it's 13,000 degrees outside in Florida. I promise I will wear them when I can get the temperature in my house down enough to do it. So Matthew has Avengers pajamas. See, that is the kind of stuff that we do on the cruises when we take over the kids club and we wear our pajamas. I'm going full out on Friday when I go see Spider-Man. I mean, not my pajamas, but I'm doing all my Spider-Man stuff. Chris Bannis, nice to see you as well. I'm sure they sell Spider-Man lounge pants for adult men. Paul Clark, I wore them on the cruise. I wore Spider-Man pajama bottoms on the cruise when we took over the kids club, and a Spider-Man t-shirt. And I had my Spider-Man hoodie, but it was just way too hot. So, Hal Cussell says they make adult Spider-Man underoos. I have my own version of them, just so you know. I've said too much. You can't unsee that, so sorry. Let's see. Let me catch up here. We need stretchy Spider-Man pants. No, I need Spider-Man. I need a Spider-Man muumuu is what I really need, because I gained way too much on the cruise. So the Spider-Man Homecoming VR demo on PS4. Eric, I have a PS4. I literally thought about going to get the VR stuff just so I could experience that. So Martin has Roger Rabbit pajamas. Of course you do. Let me see. Josh Schmitz, what is going on? Julie Steiner says swimsuit. Is she asking about a swimsuit, or is she saying she has a swimsuit? I'm talking to my silhouette over there. Spidey boxers. I can neither confirm nor deny Spider-Man boxers. So Donnie Stephens, fortunately, changing the topic and saying, Lou was on the Apple TV. I swear my wife has rolled her eyes. Mrs. Cussler, I'm so sorry. I just missed you guys, and we're all over the place. Spider-Man muumuu, that's a picture. What country would I like to see come to Epcot? Donnie Stephens, in no particular order. I would like to see Egypt. I would like to see India. I would like to see Greece, for a variety of reasons, for the culture, for the architecture, for the food, obviously. There's a few others, but I think those are not necessarily outside the realm of reality. Neither is Australia. So I've been talking about this for a while, but you are going to see an expansion coming to Epcot. So, and I think you're going to hear about it at D23 Expo, which is part of the reason why you need to follow along with us next week, D23 Expo Live, or just make sure you just follow along on Facebook, because that's where all the videos are going to be. So, Lisa Sherry, are you here? Please be here. I cannot handle all this talk of nightwear. Sorry. I will change. I did not mean to upset or make anybody ill with the thought of that. So Father Christopher says India, Russia, Greece, Spain, Egypt, another African country. You know, Spain was one that was supposed to be there. Russia was also supposed to be there. Egypt might be tough for obvious reasons. I do think that you can. There's certainly a huge variety of countries from Africa that could have a presence there as well. I would like to see the expansion happen that was not necessarily scheduled, but was maybe blue skied years ago, where they were going to get rid of Millennium Village, which is now the World Showplace. They were going to blow out that area. They were going to expand the lagoon, have the lagoon go out to a second lagoon with additional countries on there and an actual hotel, really sort of inside World Showcase that was going to be there. There was going to be a huge Australia presence. I can't even say pavilion. It was going to be an Australian presence there. I don't know if that is going to happen or not, but I think that plan is not necessarily off the board. And if you start to connect some of the dots and gondola spots, that might make a little bit more sense too. So my husband still finds himself amazed at your obsession with food. If he's scared now, you should see him. You should eat with me. And then it's not a pretty, I mean, it's a beautiful sight for me when all that food comes out, but I do love my food, which is funny or ironic because as a kid, I was pencil thin and they used to bribe me to try and gain weight. So I was a rail, and all one day it kicked in all at once. So wait till Lou goes, oh, Marla Chan, you have me so excited. Like I'm like a Jesse Spano. I'm so excited to come out to Disneyland, not just for Expo, not just for the Quest, not just to see you, but for all of the foods. I am going to be so fat by September. I have basically 1 week to get in shape for Expo. I have less. I ate with Skinny Lou one time and it was very. Don't bring up Skinny Lou. Shh. People don't seem to like him. Let's see. Don't forget the Spidey Saints shirt. So, Martin, I actually was going to wear that tonight, but I had it on yesterday, so I couldn't because you wouldn't have been able to, but I needed to wash it. Father Chris says, if I want to go to a big presentation, how early do I have to get in line? And related, are these talks worth the time commitment? Yes, they are worth it. Absolutely. They probably are going to have a fast pass system again this year, but you are going to need to get online early. Some of the bigger, the parks and resorts, Marvel, animation, studios, they're all going to they will fill up. Now, I don't know if they're going to have overflow rooms. In the past, they've had overflow rooms, so if you can't get into the physical live presentation, there are rooms where it's simulcast. You'll see that a lot at Comic-Cons and Mega-Cons and things like that. But I would absolutely try and, when you look at this, when the schedule comes out, figure out the one that is the most important to you. Get online for that one. Figure out what I don't know what the Fast Pass system is going to be like this year. So, Rita, you will actually be able to get online, get a Fast Pass, what will guarantee you admission without having to wait on a standby line for some of the arena or other pavilion presentations. But I think you can only get one Fast Pass per day. Again, I don't know what the system is going to be like again this year. They have not released it as yet. So I need to go to Marla Chan. That ahi tuna spring roll, me and you, and anybody else who wants to join, me and you, ahi tuna spring rolls, Marla Chan, on me. That's a promise from us, the Good Hands people. Nanu, whatever. I'm torn between live movies and parks, since the same day it's unlikely to be able to do both. Probably, and I think that's deliberate to help sort of thin the herd a little bit. Scott Otis is in line already right now, which is probably a smart move on his part. I can't tell you. Like, for me, parks are more important than movies, although I really want to see... I have reasons that I really want to see the Marvel one. But parks and resorts, I think... Don't let this sway you, but I think parks and resorts is going to have the most surprising announcements at this year's Expo. If what I'm feeling... If what my spidey sense, see what I did there, is telling me to be true, that is what I would expect. I would think parks and resorts. Look, if you're a theme park person, I think parks and resorts is where you probably want to go to. If you go to something like, if you go to the studios panel, there's obviously a good chance you'll see some celebrities come out, some teasers and some trailers and some previews. But I think in terms of theme parks, I would go to parks and resorts. So, Lisa Donald Glass says, all I care about is parks and resorts. You forgot, it's parks and resorts and food. They've expanded that this year. Walter Songer, I am a betting man. You are going to get you are going to get Epcot announcements, and that is not the only announcement you're going to get for Walt Disney World and Disneyland. I've said it in the past what I think is coming to Disneyland. I think they'll announce it this year. I think they will announce a Marvel expansion at Disneyland. I think they're going to announce, obviously, a lot happening to Epcot in terms of not only Future World, but Innoventions, Centurium, whatever you want to call it. Universe of Energy. I think there's something else that's going to happen that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about as yet. I also think you're going to get stuff in Magic Kingdom. I think Magic Kingdom, specifically Tomorrowland, is ripe for an update. And don't be surprised if you hear something about Adventureland. So that's just, it's speculation. It's maybe a little bit of insight and maybe a little bit of wishful thinking. So Rob De Leon says, parks and resorts and food, man, count me in. That is all I need. I'm with you, brother. John C. Jones, I was talking about you. So let's see. I'm in the box Friday and Saturday, only in person on Sunday, so I'll spend my time looking for the booth. That place is so big. We are going to be in the Collectors Forum. Just walk right in. We're going to be right there in the middle. Marla, I will tell you this. You should have no problem finding us. It's a little tease. You should have no problem. If you have a problem finding us, look up. So there you go. Will Marvel make the DC expansion will be Parks and Resorts? Bill, I would think that it would come from Parks and Resorts. They really try and segment those announcements. The animation is going to be at animation. Marvel is going to be specifically TV, animation, and movies. So, I believe that Epcot expansion is going to come. So, Ray Kastner, the app for Expo is probably going to come out the beginning of next week. That's only time Lou has ever said to look up to find him. What's with the beating down on Lou tonight? Is it the shirt? Is it my hair? Jeez Louise, I call these people my friends. Let's see. A giant Becky Puppet. Shh, Corey. I said that to you in private. Don't listen to Becky, keep rolling. What I should do is I can actually kick Becky out, and then I can say whatever I want. Wait till I announce the other special event that she doesn't want me to reveal yet, but I'm going to do it. Do the D23 sessions have a pay for online streaming? No, they don't, Fred. They do not have a sort of virtual ticket. So for a lot of the sessions, we as outside content providers are not necessarily allowed to stream them. In the first year, man, I streamed everything because I think I was like the only guy streaming back then. But now they have a lot of restrictions. Some of the things you can't even bring your phone in. They actually will take your phone and bag it before and keep it before they actually let you into the room itself. So, is that gondola that extends at the International Gateway really going to be built? Paul Clark, the gondola is absolutely, and now this is not me speaking out of school because the gondola is definitely going to be built. What I think hasn't been revealed yet is the reason why it's going to be built. And that is what I think is what you are going to learn at Expo, specifically in the Parks and Resorts exhibit and the Parks and Resorts announcement. And I think for those of you that are attending multiple days, my inclination is that, and I don't know what day I think Parks and Resorts is on Saturday. The Parks and Resorts exhibit is going to change slightly from before to after the Parks and Resorts presentation, if that makes any sense. So, Susie Strother, Universe of Energy. Again, I'm not saying this because I know anything, but sorry, I'm not blinking. I just have a twitch. But Universe of Energy is not long for this world. And I think you might be surprised at what is going to go in there. So Lisa says it's going to be Saturday afternoon. There's just been some things as an exhibitor that I've sort of been trying to piece together in terms of, and they've done this in the past with some of the Tomorrowland stuff a few years ago. So so Corey says they did at the Expo with Pandora. It was off limits until after the panel. I think that's going to happen again this year in terms of Parks and Resorts. And there is something that I had heard rumor about that I really hope makes it to Expo. And I'm not trying to be evasive, but I feel if I know that something's coming, it's not for me to reveal it. It's not for me to talk about it as a rumor. It's their announcement. They should have it. You should hear it from them directly, and then we can comment about it afterwards. How's that sound? So Stephen Schmidt's Inside Out in Old Wonders of Life. It actually seems to make more sense in Journey into Imagination. You can integrate Figment in there. Figment is not going to go away. In fact, I think you're going to see Figment have a much larger presence, not just in that pavilion, but in Epcot Center itself. And again, you could start putting pieces together in terms of where and how you've seen Figment presented, not just in that pavilion, but elsewhere throughout. So, Walter Songer, that is not outside the realm of possibility. That is not outside the realm of possibility. So, Becky Malik loves me. Everybody loves them some Figment. Who doesn't love Figment? Sad to see the original Epcot attractions going away. Going to make sure I see Universe of Energy on my August trip. Joe, I think that's a really good idea. Look, we don't want to rehash the this is not a museum quote, but it's not. Universe of Energy, while being a people eater, not a people mover, is it's a little long in the tooth. It is not a guest attractor, nor is it a guest satisfier in terms of, hey, kids, come on, who wants to go see Ellen's Energy Adventure Crisis? The kids are not going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when they hear that. If you say, hey, kids, who wants to go and see the new, speculation, Guardians of the Galaxy, Tron, Inside Out, whatever, that's going to be the attractor. That's going to be the satisfier. And look, things change. Redheads come and go. Storylines change all the time. And it's part and parcel for the way it's been since day one. Disneyland, Disneyland didn't look like 2 years after Disneyland opened, it looked a lot different than it did on day one. 57, however many years later, it looks much, much different. Certainly true for Walt Disney World. Whether we agree or disagree with the reasoning behind it, Pirates isn't going away. The Redhead isn't going away. But, look, years ago when they changed the Pirates chasing the women to women chasing the pirate, it was the same kind of conversation. It is what it is. But that could be a separate conversation. You know what? I take that back. I do want to talk about this. And this is, but I would love to actually have it. So for those of you who are in the WDW Radio Nation, during our next live group video call, where it's not just me on the screen, where all of us are together, I would like to hear and discuss in an open civil forum changes to things like pirates, changes to that have happened in the past, changes that are happening now, because I think I have an opinion on this, because and I'm not talking about look. I will try and analogize this to a legalism. There's something called selective prosecution, right? Where you can't selectively choose who you want to prosecute. Well, by the same token, let me just say this: if you're going to change the pirates in the attraction and you're going to change what a little bit of the history of what pirates really were, well, do you change the movies too? Why do you change it in an attraction and maybe not change it in a movie? They're glorified in the films even more so than I think the attraction is. So you got to sort of have and this is just, I'm just playing counselor here. I have no, I'm not devastated one way or the other, but if you're going to change one, you got to, the messaging I think has to be clear across the board, or does it? Anyway, Tron Coaster in Tomorrowland. There's part of Lou Mongello that would love to see that. There's part of Lou Mongello that, if it wasn't only in Shanghai, I'd be like, it should be there, right? Because I like unique things in each park, but I understand that not everybody can make it out to Shanghai. So no one notices the poor donkey stuck in the burning stall. Right, see, I'm going to make somebody help me out. I need a t-shirt that says, save the donkey. And nobody except us is going to know what that means. Scott orders, you got the redhead. You've got the loveliest redhead of all. So if the redhead doesn't fit, he must have quit. So Michael Ross, yeah, I think this will be an interesting conversation for the nation. I will actually, tonight, I'm going to make myself a sticky note. This way we can schedule that group call. Oops. Nation. All right, so we're going to schedule a nation call right after I get back from Expo, because I think there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about there as well. Julie Dossie, there's no more Lawyer Lou. Attorney Lou does not exist anymore, except in some nightmares and dreamscapes. So anyway, Scott Roche, you do have that ready. Yes, Nikki Keller, this does need to. This will be an interesting conversation. Among some of the nation. So Kenneth Johnson, got to go. Brother, we will get together, I promise. After I get back, after kids are back in school, we're going to get together and and celebrate. Lawyer Lou does not exist. He doesn't. I buried him a long time. Lawyer Lou and Skinny Lou are hopefully Skinny Lou might be coming back, but Lawyer Lou I tried to bury a little bit. So, but Steven Schmidt's, look, it's part of what I was saying. You know, if you change the attraction, do you have to change the song? Do you have to, you know, change? You can't change the movies, right? And we'll talk about this in terms of how I think it would apply to other attractions. Like, what other attractions, if you're going to start doing things in terms of sensitivity or political or whatever you want to call it, there's other attractions that could and arguably should be changed, and have been in the past with a little bit less fanfare. So anyway, I'll take a gaggle of Lawyer Lou over one Skinny Lou. When Skinny Lou shows up, we cancel all cruises and events. So wait a minute. Is that how I get out of this? All I got to do is get skinny again? It's a win-win across the board. See, I kid because I love. Let's see. You can change the movies, right, George Lucas? Very well done, Chris Barry. I hate the new. Not that I hate the new ones. I didn't like the revision versions of Star Wars. So, I don't want my 7-year-old son smoking and drinking with hoodlums, but we still love Pinocchio, says Michael Ross. Look, there's a lot we can go through. You know, there's a litany of films, and I even think that there's some attractions. You know, look, if maybe Mama should whip Buford instead of shooting him, right? You know, all of a sudden now we're whipping and shooting our kids. You know, I'm surprised that somebody hasn't gotten a little upset about that yet. Maybe people just aren't paying attention to it. So anyway, Jess, the shirt says nothing except that this guy is excited for Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm cueing the music again. I don't even care. I am super excited for Spider-Man Homecoming on Friday, and if I can keep myself up, I'm going to sneak out tomorrow night and go see a 10:30 show by myself. Oh, wait a minute. And here come the messages. Who did I figured it was Becky texting me a million times. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Anyway, top 10 politically now incorrect attractions in Walt Disney World. Yeah, man, you can look, you can go through, and if you try hard enough, you can find something that would potentially upset somebody. But hopefully that's not the case. So I kept saying Bahamas. I meant Bermuda. You know, I meant Bermuda, not the Bahamas. It's the same thing. Bermuda, Bahamas, whatever. Bermuda, Jamaica. I want to take you to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego. Baby, why don't we go? Off the Florida Keys, I'll take you down to a little place called Kokomo. That's where we want to go. The song's playing in my head. It's cue the chorus. Anyway. All right. Am I going to Homecoming after Homecoming? David Coviello, I like how you think. I am going to be in Disney Springs. Maybe I'll go to Homecoming. You're so smart, David Coviello. We're going to Homecoming. Getting some fried chicken and fried green tomatoes. So much for the Skinny Lou coming back. Fried chicken, fried green tomatoes. I'm not going to get dessert because I'm going to have like a boatload of popcorn. And we'll get some deviled eggs and some hush puppies. And a shine tea. Martin Sugar, we will do some call-ins tonight. Why not? We will do it. Javier Schwartz, good to see you as well. Rob De Leon is going to Homecoming this Christmas for lunch. If you need a dining buddy, I'm here. I'm like an on-call dining buddy. So, was the announcement Aulani 2019? Did I miss it? No. So should I announce? Should I? I mean, look, Becky's mad at me already. So what's a little bit more? What's a little bit more anger from Becky at this point? Although I do have to spend a week with her next week, and then God help me, 2 weeks alone with her. Does everyone want to come to China with me? I just like as a Becky buffer. Can I just add like one more as like a Becky buffer? Becky, I know you're gonna hate me, but I'm going to announce that thing that we talked about just because. Come on, it's only among friends. So listen, I'll tell you guys all these people think I'm talking to them, but I'm really just talking to you because I want you to come with us. Because believe it or not, we, 2018, although it's only the middle of 2017, 2018 is pretty much, for the most part, planned out. We've got Alaska coming up in June. Raise your hand if you're coming with us. Becky's so nervous. She has no idea what I want to. And Becky, you didn't even know it's on the board. One of these days when Becky's not here, I'll show you guys part of what's on that board. Anyway, so we're doing 2018. We're already starting to think about 2019. I'm not going to spoil that one, Becky, because I know we got to still work on some of the deets for that one. But I don't think, I think not everybody's going to be able to come to Alaska. I think we needed to do something else in 2018. I'm waiting for my phone just to start completely blowing up with text from Becky. And while we were trying to think about some other special events to do, I was thinking about ones that I have done that I really, really enjoyed, and ones that I liked in the past. We've done everything from special events here at Walt Disney World. We did the Adventures Club. We did the American Adventures Club. We rented out the Great Movie Ride. We had dinner there. We had dinner, an awesome, Becky, we're doing Tower of Terror again. We had an amazing dinner at the top of Tower of Terror. A few years ago, we went out to, and really my very first experience with an Adventures by Disney, which I loved. We went out, and it was called Backstage Magic at that time, where you go in a small group, and the group was just us. It's about 30 people. And like Shanghai, we just sort of bought out the entire group. So it's just WDW Radio friends and family. And you go out to California, so it's very accessible. And you go like backstage at the Chinese Theater and the El Capitan Theater. You go to the Walk of Fame. We went to the Jimmy Kimmel Studios. We went to Henson Studios, which was like my favorite part of the trip other than going to Pink's one night. You go to Imagineering. Like you spend a lot of time at Imagineering, not including just shopping at Imagineering. You go to Disneyland. You do some cool stuff on stage. You do some experiences that you can't do anywhere else. I'm trying not to spoil it. You do go backstage at Disneyland. Again, I don't want to say too much because that was one of my... As a matter, you know what? That one was so good. How good was it? That one was so good, I think we should do it again. I think we should do that Adventures by Disney. I'm going to keep on calling it Backstage Magic next year. Like, Becky's telling me to be careful. But if I go too far, Becky, just tell me and I'll roll it back. But I think we should do that again next year. After Alaska, so in the second half of the year, I think we should do Adventures by Disney again to, what do they call it now? Hollywood and Vine, Hollywood and Daydreams, Hollywood and, what do they call it, Becky? I still call it Backstage Magic. People saying, sign me up. Yes, please. Yes, please. Sean Embry. So I think we should do it again. I am not going to announce details yet, Becky. Don't lose your mind. So for those of you people who are saying me, do me a favor. If you're serious, let's sort of collect a little bit of an interest list, as it were. Email me, lou@wdwradio.com. Let me know if you'd be interested in this backstage. It's not called Backstage Magic, so forgive me. It's a backstage, what is it? Hollywood and Southern California. We'll call it Backstage Magic just for fun. The Hollywood and Southern California Adventures by Disney as a WDW Radio group. I think it's only 30 people. It's also adults only. I think it's 16 and up, Becky. 12 and up, 16 and up, somewhere around there. But if you are interested, email me. I will gather an interest list. Box Stage Magic. Look at Ray Kastner coming up with that one. I dig it. Box Stage Magic. That's awesome, man. I might actually use that. If you are interested, 18. Becky said, no children allowed in my Adventures by... Sorry, wait a minute. Excuse me 1 second. No children allowed. Give me the microphone. No children allowed. Let me be clear. At my 18 and up. So fall of 2018, Backstage Magic, Box Stage Magic. If you are interested, email me, lou@WDW Radio. Let me know if you're serious and how many people you would be interested in going. So, Susie, I don't have any pricing. Again, this is not. This is just sort of letting you know what we're planning, and then there will be an official sort of rollout. But because you guys are friends, because you guys are family, we wanted to let you. I wanted to let you know first. So I'll get the grief from Becky later. I don't care. It's worth it. It's worth it because you guys are awesome. So, and I would love for you. I'm talking to you to join us out there. We had so much fun last time, right? Like we had a really nice group of people, and that was a lot of fun. So, Lakota Matson, see you in the box at D23. We're gonna have fun next week. Gosh, we're gonna have fun next week. So yeah, so that's, and listen, don't tell anybody else about the Adventures by Disney. What's it called again? It's not. I know it's Box Stage Magic, but Becky, what's it technically called? Oh, Becky, if you want me to release more details, I have more details. If you don't want me to, if you want me to release some more details, I'm more than happy to. I was trying to be good. Can I release more details? Like, you want me to release the actual date? This is when Becky gets nervous. Texts are coming in fast and furiously. Javier Schwartz, I did see the new sign from Muppet Vision 3D and Hollywood Studios. Do not be surprised. Do not be surprised if that attraction changes. Do not be surprised. Southern California Disneyland. Oh, Backstage Magic sounds so much better. Well, I'm going to call it Box Stage Magic. So for those of you who said Box Stage Magic, that's what we're going to call it for now. So just let me know that you're interested in the Southern California Disneyland Box Stage Magic Adventures by Disney in fall of 2018. So there you go. John C. Jones, I am so ready for some football. I am ready for football season to start. I think I have my Halloween costume picked out already. And if I can't get rid of all this, I'm going to go as Baymax. But if not, I have something else. Planned. So, Ray, the balloon is gone. The balloon is gone. So, people are raising logo contests. Listen, we already have to. Forget box. I still have to do a logo contest. Well, I have a logo contest that we're going to have to do for Alaska. And I have another logo that, a very, very important logo that we're going to have a logo contest for because those are fun. So, is the planter in the fountain temporary until the construction is done? Yes. Brian Voss, we're friends because you just said go big blue. Melanie Jones says, high hopes for the Big Blue Giants. Yeah, baby. I'm excited about football season this year. And by football season, I mean my butt on my couch on Sundays watching the Giants. So, Jason Dasho's got our magazines from the eBay collection. Thank you so much for bidding and winning. I don't know if we're gonna post any for a couple of weeks with Expo and summer, but there's still some more good stuff coming out. Kristen Furman Simmons, OMG, the emails that I need to send you on so many levels, all good. I love Kristen Furman Simmons. She is not only one of the contributors to the WDW Radio blog, she joined me for the Morimoto Asia Live review. She's an amazing food writer, entrepreneur, all-around great gal. I don't even know what your question was. Oh, you'd be thrilled if the Muppet Show does something. Anyway, Tony Caggiano, speaking of Adventures by Disney, Tony Caggiano was there. Was Tony Caggiano? Tony Caggiano was there. So, Susie Strother, don't go with that Cowboys talk in this box. So, listen, I'm a Giants fan. Come on, choose wisely. Lou's roommate. So there's something that you'll never see. Lou's roommate. My roommating days are done. So, Mission 6. We're going back. Lou does not need a roommate. Tony Mongello, God help us and save us. Listen, Tony Mongello at Adventures by Disney was a heck of a lot better than Lou Mankin at in Hawaii. So, Lou's room is an ice cream. I was Scott Otis. You were a big part of the reason why I will never have a roommate again. In due and large part, you can say it's your fault. So, my roommate is the Becky Puppet. There you go, Keith. That just sounded way creepier than I wanted it to be. So I'm not going to repeat that out loud again. So All right. What do we say? What do I say? What do we say? What do we say we take definitely more Kristen Furman Simmons on the podcast. Great review. She's wonderful. She's smart. She's sweet. She's articulate. She's a foodie. We are definitely going to do that again. So, but in the meantime, what do you say? It's 8:51. I have so much work to do tonight about one of those things that Becky doesn't know about. I didn't sleep. How can I snore? Oh, Scott, let's not go down that path. But the path that we should go down, this is me trying to change the topic. My wife is pregnant. I've been cravings for wings. Need to go to a location for our trip in Disney World. What are the best wings on property? I think your best bet on property is going to be ESPN. Or I take that back. No, ESPN, or if you go over to Cabanas at the Swan and Dolphin, they've got redonkulous wings out there. I'm not sure if they only have them during football season, but I've had them before, and they were excellent. So, if you had wings, I see what you did there. All right, what do you say we take a couple of calls before I have to go, making it a relatively early night? If you would like to call into the show, you can call 407-413-WDW1. And we'll get a couple of your calls on the air, as it were. And let me just get this set up here. You can ask me a question. You can give me a comment. Going on a DCL cruise for a honeymoon, Eastern or Western Caribbean? Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to say Western, because Eastern, I think it takes you to Nassau. Not my favorite port. Western Caribbean will take it to St. Thomas, St. Martin. I like those a lot better. So, Jeanette, I did shave. Just for you, Jeanette Ayu Bourbon. I shaved for you. Tracy Ballesteros, nice to see you. Let us take our first call. God help us and save us of the evening. Hey, this is Lou. You're on the air.
Oh, you got me. And I was just going to honor you by playing Kokomo in the background, because you were singing it and you got it on my mind.
Well,
so,
why don't you sing it? Why don't you sing it for us, Terry Simpson Doherty?
Oh, yeah, this is me singing it. Oh, no. Wait, I'm on the speaker, so I can't stop myself, and that's horrible. Hang on, I've got this.
Oh, so unprepared for this call. Steven, while you're getting ready, I have got to say hello to Steven Schussler.
I got it. And I shut myself up.
So hold on one second, Terry. Steven Schussler, I need you to listen to this week's podcast, because I took my guest to the boathouse for the very first time. He was the former executive vice president of operations for Walt Disney World, and he could not rave enough about the boathouse. And oh, by the way, big kudos and a golf clap to you for being Entrepreneur of the Year. I don't remember the magazine, but I saw it on Facebook. So congratulations. I love Steven Schussler.
What are you talking about?
Steven Schussler. He's the guy who created my favorite restaurant on the planet, the Boathouse.
Oh.
I'm a little verklempt because Steven Schussler's here. It's a lot of pressure.
I'm so excited that Steven Schussler is here. I don't know what to do with myself. Entrepreneur of the Year. I mean, I wish I could touch the hem of his robe. Anyway, I'm sorry. Just went there.
I'm sorry. I got a little excited. I thought you were re-queuing your Kokomo. But how are things otherwise, Terry Simpson Doherty?
Things are delightful. I had a wonderful lunch on the 4th of July. Would you like to know who with?
I'm not sure.
I would love to say
okay.
Becky right now. But not Becky. I had lunch with Nikki Ostrowski.
You did? How is the lovely Nikki Ostrowski?
She is delightful. She can run a 10K and not even break a sweat. I swear, the woman is amazing.
Yeah, she's a machine. I fully expect to see her on American Ninja Warrior one day soon.
Oh, that would be awesome. I would so go and pull for her on that. But anyway, nothing much here in the way of anything, and summer is here and yucky, and that's all. So she said, when was it?
The summer is in full
swing.
Swing.
Yes, we run the air.
Yeah.
We run the air all the time, and we don't really go outside because, ew. And somebody said, oh, don't you like to go to Disney on the 4th of July? I said, no.
No.
Wasn't planning on going to that place ever. Hockey sticks and stuff. So anyway.
There's no need for any of that kind of stuff on 4th of July. So hopefully, though, I will see you in the parks in some sort of air-conditioned venue very soon.
Yes, that would be lovely. And I will let you go and take your other calls. And I was being facetious. I know you love Spider-Man more than life itself. So anyway, have a lovely night.
You too. Thank you for calling.
All right. Bye.
Sorry, I see Boathouse and I get all excited. It's been like a week since I've been to Boathouse, so I need to go back. When are they going to give you the Sinatra table? I know. I don't even need a table. I want like a little plaque on the back of a chair, like Sinatra would have had. All right. So let me show this again. We'll take a couple more calls before the night. Scott Otis went to Epcot Center last night. Yikes! I give anybody credit who went out to the parks last night. I had a friend send some photos, and it just looked insane. It looked insane, but it's an experience. It's something to definitely something I think you should do, or at least just do once. So, all right. So if you want to call into the show, I'll take a couple more calls before we go for the evening. This is unknown number calling in. Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air.
Is that who I think it is? Is that Lou the Grease Monkey? Oh,
are you playing that in hopes that I'm just going to stand up and start dancing like I did in Greece? Oh.
I was hoping, mate. How you doing?
How are you, my friend?
Well, I'm very well. This signal's better than when I was getting in Animal Kingdom, innit?
It is. You're a little low, but we all can tell by your beautiful accent that you are Martin from the UK.
How you doing? How's my treats for you? Have you finished them all yet?
So what's the right answer? Because if I say no, you'll be offended that I didn't. And if I say yes, you'll be like, hey, Fatty McGee, how did you eat that entire box of stuff already?
I'm still waiting. You've got to have the Branson pickle, mate. You've got to try some of that.
I haven't tried it yet. Maybe tomorrow I'll have to take it out. And what should I eat that with? Just like meat?
Ham and cheese. A cheese sandwich, ham sandwich. Put it in the middle of it. And you'll love it. It's not Marmite, so you'll be all right, mate. It won't kill you. All
right. Well, I will tell you that I'm happy that my family doesn't like the Jaffa cakes, and they didn't like the other one. So I'm like, Yahtzee. Huh? Yep.
What?
I know. They're crazy.
They didn't like the Jaffa cakes?
Listen, I just keep them around for tax benefits, so...
more Jaffa cakes for you, mate. They're
exactly.
Lovely.
I love the Jaffa cakes. I like that little bit of citrus and orange that's in there. That's nice.
I was going to say the other thing is, have you read the book a bit yet or not? What's it?
So again, if I say that I read the book, you're going to be asking where I read it.
Yes, so. I know. It's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? Was it? I can't remember what it was now. The Joke's on the Loo or something, wasn't it?
But I will tell you, the book is very popular in my house, and we had some guests over this week, and they loved it. So,
well, that's good. I wanted to make sure people were finding it funny at least. I did. I found that first joke was good.
It has a place of distinction in in the guest Lou. So.
So I'd love to go to this trip to where are you going?
California, Disneyland, Imagineering, Henson Studios, the Chinese Theater, El Capitan Theater, a couple of other surprises.
Yeah. Where's the UK trip? Come on.
Listen, I can't say because Becky's still here, but the UK trip is plans are we're working on plans right now. How's that?
That'd be good. I'm hoping to meet, I think Luke's coming in July, August to London. So I'm going to try and meet in there. And make up with the old T-shirts. We'll have the T-shirts on for you.
Awesome. Yeah, we will make it happen, my friend. I promise I will come and visit you out there.
Yeah, I could take you down to the local pub with the old straw roof, a proper straw roof, not one made out of metal. You can see all the proper stuff, and the fish and chips will be interesting down there. I don't think they'll be as good as Epcot's, to be honest. They were quite good.
I'd be curious to try. I've heard the food is the stuff of legend, so I'll be curious to try it for myself.
The location is the best bit, where we are. That's about it. I don't know about the food, mate. I think Epcot's got better food.
I'm coming for the people. I'm just coming for the people.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course, we're all going to be here for you. So I just hope it comes off. That'll be great, wouldn't it?
Well, I promise you, my friend, we will make it happen.
Yeah, I was very pleased to meet you out there, mate. Thank you very much for turning up. It was good of you. And I did a couple of good tours out there as well. I really enjoyed the tours. People need to do those tours. They're very good.
I agree.
So I did I did the Keys to the Kingdom. That was great. And then the the Wild Africa Trek. That was brilliant. God, that was hot, but it was brilliant. I think I lost a few pounds on there. I didn't need the stretchy pants for that one.
You gained them back. Don't worry. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think all the pictures showed. I had a bit of food out there. My missus was a bit surprised I wasn't fatter than what I was.
Yeah, our late night Wednesday night meal at Kona Cafe. So.
Oh, sushi as well. Oh, that was brilliant. I loved lots of sushi, and I had sushi with Nikki as well. That was awesome. That was great.
Yeah, that was a nice time.
Yeah, and I was lucky then also to do DisneyQuest then for the last time.
Yep.
So I'm glad I got that out of the list. Well, it's a shame, but I enjoyed it. But there you go. So I won't be seeing that when we get back.
Well, there'll be something new. Don't you worry.
Yeah, all good stuff. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you a quick call. It's 2:05 here. I'm shouting, so I've probably woken up the whole bloody house. The whole house. Sorry. Didn't want to swear there.
Please congratulate your son on his graduation. I saw that on Facebook.
Hey, thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a long day, but it's been great. He's got this. He's got an interview for the animation studio, the Wallace and Gromit. So, fingers crossed. So, but that's for an internship. So you never know. But I mean, he's just chuffed as hell that we've got being happy that he's actually got a degree in animation. So awesome. He's on the right track. All those Disney films he watched have come to fruition.
Good for you, brother.
Well, I better let you go, mate. I'm sure there's more interesting calls coming in. And,
but nobody has a better accent, so.
Yeah, it's late at night, so I'm feeling a bit drowsy now, so I better get off before I make
Have a good night, buddy. Thank you for calling in. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much, Lou. Take care.
All right, God save the Queen.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Bye. I could just listen to the guy. I could talk all night long. But, all right, let's take one more call and call night. I do have some work I have to get to up there and the other folder that's down here, the one that Becky doesn't know about as yet. So I'll take one more call for the evening. Let me just get this ready here. And here it is. Hey, it's Lou. You're on the air.
Hello, it's Darlene Nagy from West Seneca, New York.
How are you, Darlene Nagy from West Seneca, New York?
I'm good. I'm just chit-chatting with Becky for a little while.
Oh, no.
So I loved everything that you guys did on the cruise. I didn't know you guys were stopping at Nassau.
We did, but didn't even get off the ship. Like, I used the Nassau day as a day to enjoy the ship.
And ride the water rides and everything?
I actually did not get on the aqueduct. I didn't even get in the pool this time.
Oh, my goodness.
I know.
My goodness.
I need to go back.
Oh, I know. I was drooling over all the food. I was so... Karen's like, is it killing you not to be on that ship? I'm like, yes. But we already booked our trip for next year. We got one trip planned for May and one trip for October. Nice.
Well, when you come in May, we have to get together and share a meal together somewhere.
Yes, definitely. And Keith will be with me this time. So,
love it.
Yes. Yes. So, 72 days for you, 65 for us.
Somebody just asked how many days until the cruise, and there you are the best, let me tell you.
Well, this one I'm counting down Shanghai. So the cruise, once we're done with Shanghai, then I'll start calling in for the cruise because we still got the cruises. The cruise is still, almost a year away. So not even, but definitely.
And now we're going to have the Adventures by Disney to count down to once Her Majesty allows me to actually announce the date. So
I know. I got to get all my dates. I got to get all these dates in order so I know how to call in for you.
And wait till I tell you about the other thing that I haven't told her yet.
Ooh. Well, you'll have to tell me that one in secret so she doesn't get upset.
You know what?
With
I
us.
will do that. I will, and I know I can swear you to secrecy. So.
Yes, you can. Well, you have a great night. It was great talking to you.
Hearing your voice always makes my day.
Ah, thank you. And just talking to you always makes me smile.
Oh, thank you so much.
Have a great night.
Have a good night.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See that? How do you follow up Darlene Nagy from West Seneca, New York? She, like all of you, are so sweet. Mark Thompson, the countdown to Spidey is a matter of hours. It's 24. It's less than 40. It's like 40 some odd hours until Spider-Man. This guy is super, super excited. Friday is going to be like Spider-Man Day for me, so expect to see pretty much all of my social posts having something to do with great power and great responsibility or whatnot. So, but I do have to go. I have another call in a little while, and then I actually have some more work that I need to get done. So I have to cut it relatively short tonight. Don't forget, please, 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 don't forget that next week we are going to be at D23 Expo. Wednesday night's show will probably be, I don't know where I'm going to be, but Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we'll be broadcasting live from D23 Expo. If you're going to be on the floor, come see us in our booth on the Collectors Forum show floor. If not, turn on notifications. I will be broadcasting live throughout it. Let me do this, sorry. And, I don't know, something just popped up on my phone there. So super, super excited for Expo. Got some surprises in store for those of you who are going to be there in person, as well as all of you guys who are watching in the box. I love you. I appreciate you. Seeing you here in the box means the world to me. So thank you again for the love and the support and the friendship. And I cannot wait to see you guys again right here next week from California. So until then, have a great night. Stay hungry.
Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Lives in blood. He's got radioactive blood. Can he swing?